Hello. Hi, darling. So sorry I'm running a little late.
No worry.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome to your restorative. We're going to have maybe a blanket on top of your mat if you can spare one, just to kind of make it a little cozy. It's starting to get a little cooler in this room, so I'm not sure how you're feeling at home. I'd say about 3 other blankets or towels if you can spare, and then some kind of cushion from the bed or bolster, or even a cushion from the couch. And then if you have 2 blocks, that's always fun. So we're going to be doing a lot of propping and improvising. Yeah, that's beautiful. Great. So we're just going to settle in. And for those of you folks in studio, if you can check out my situation here at the front of the room. Sorry, as always, for the wires. So we're going to have 2 blocks. I like to set one kind of on a lowish mode, half high, and then one flat. That kind of coat goes right against that block. So if you have the heavier blocks, the wider blocks, nice and stable moment to lay your bolster down. And then just to give a little weight to the bolster, I like to take a nice blanket and lay it over. Again, that's just cushioning it. You can even fold a little bit at the bottom if you'd like. That's going to fill in the gap where your lower spine is. Test it out. Make sure that you are solid in your foundation. It's really important in restorative yoga, especially in any of these reclined positions, that we feel secure, stable, grounded. So wiggle in, do whatever you need to do to make sure that that lower back, mid back, and head is supported. We're going to possibly even put another little blanket, because I just can't get enough of blankets. Maybe at the top of the mat to form a little pillow or cushion. And again, I like to take a little roll there. That's going to go right at the nape of my neck. So a lot of zhuzhing, a lot of preparation for this restorative. We're going to be in this beginning pose for quite a bit, so just make sure that you're feeling it. And then if you'd like, take another blanket and possibly lay that over the legs. Feet can be in Baddha Konasana. Feet can be just sort of crossed at the ankle. And there's always the option to bring the feet out, straight out in front of you. Trying to feel a little grounding sensation tonight. If you feel warm enough and you have enough blankets and you even want to wrap your ankles, that's a lovely way to really bind the ankle. Thus the meaning of Baddha Konasana. So that's kind of working for me. And I can come around and help you guys if you want to bind your ankles with the blanket. For now, allow yourself to just kind of settle into the breath. Take your reclined posture, your reclined Baddha Konasana. Or like I said, if legs are more comfortable stretched out in front, you like to put a blanket on. I also gave eye pillows to everyone here in the studio. Really wonderful to put the pillows into the palms of the hands. Palms go up towards the ceiling, kind of allowing yourself to capture some grace. And if it's in your practice to put an eye pillow over the eyes, that's going to drop you in pretty quickly. I'm going to take a deep inhale through the nose together and a long exhale out of the mouth. As I always like to do, make it noisy, make it count. Get all the angst, perhaps, of the day out. If that felt good, go ahead, do it again. Maybe it's an om this time on the exhale, or just a fluttering of the lips. And if that felt really good, do it again. Try it a different way. And on that exhale, see if you could just let the shoulders drift back, maybe falling toward each side of the bolster. Elbows feeling weighty. Hands feeling supported by the weights, perhaps in your hands, pressing down. Start to tap into the sounds outside of the space. The sounds maybe just within the space. And maybe start to bring the focus and the attention to your own inner personal space. Sound of your breath. Maybe a little sound of the heartbeat or pulse. Take a swallow in the throat, wiggle out the jaw. Take another inhale, maybe squeeze those eyebrows towards each other. Feel free to purse the lips and squeeze them too. And when you're ready to exhale, release the facial muscles and allow somewhat of a dripping sensation from the front of the face to the side ears, earlobes, temples, and to the back of the head. Maybe on the next inhale, breathe light and space into that center heart. That's going to allow the collarbones to open up and right shoulder to draw right and down, left shoulder to draw left and down. And notice if the elbows just get a little closer to the support of the floor. Feel the hands perhaps sink a little deeper as well. Next deep breath is going to be in through the belly. And on the exhale, feel that breath swirl around the waist before it dissipates into the lower back, to the bolster, to the mat, to the floor, and the floors below. See, feel, sense perhaps the next breath coming in through the toes, soles of the foot or feet, swirling around the ankles, shins, maybe even getting as far as the kneecaps before the exhalation allows one more time that air to just kind of spill out and down into the support of the blanket and the mat and the floor below. One more preparatory breath in, relaxing the body, coming into the hip creases. Allow the breath to swirl there from hip point to hip point. A little liquidy sensation happening at the pelvis, perhaps. Let the breath swirl around the thighs, and on the exhale, let that breath just ooze out on top of the thighs, to the side thighs, to the glutes perhaps, and then into the support below. Just allow yourself perhaps to have some natural breath now, whatever that may be for you, through the nose, out through the nose. It's not a static practice, so if you still need to make any wiggles, movements, or adjustments, I will always be checking on you after I set you up. So if you need anything, just wave at me. I don't know if the others are joining us, but if you want, you can wrap this around your ankles so you can do your real bada, your real bind ankle. And then kick it through here. Oh yeah. And then the bags can go in your palms as they raise up, and then you can put one over your eyes. So somewhat of a spring cleanse or early cleanse practice tonight. Somewhat of a celebration for the full moon coming in on Friday. Full moon will be in Virgo, which is our earth sign. But it's coming in to the season of Pisces, which is more of the water or ethereal sign. So a true practice of balance, equalizing the root chakra, which is your whole lower half. Think about it from the hip creases all the way down to the tip of the toes. And maybe on your next breath, just tap into that rooted energy that you possess. And then we start to tap into our ethereal energy, our Pisces season, through the Svadhisthana chakra, which is the sacral chakra. That's the area located between the hips, below the belly button, the area of creativity, fluidity. Take the next breath into that space. Let it swirl around. And on the exhale, perhaps, let it just float or evaporate out of that little divot that you have between the hips and the pelvic area. Slowly start to come back to your personal space, the sound of your breath. Start to make some slight movements of the fingers and the toes. Feel free to place your eye pillows off to the side. And maybe take the hands together, rub the palms, warm them up. Start to create some energetic sensation there, building on that pranic energy that is about 12 fingers away from the heart space. Breathe some energy into that little sphere around you and begin to place those palms over the eye sockets. Let the fingers just tap lightly on the hairline. Maybe settle in. Feel the energy from the face to the hands and the warmth from the hands to the face. Maybe if it's not too sensational, just a little press of the heel of the palm into the eye socket. On the exhale, just release. When you're ready, we're just going to tap the fingers along the hairline. You can remove the palms from the eyes. Maybe the eyes stay closed. Maybe some slight tapping around the temple area, coming around the cheekbone, perhaps. Come up and around the orbital bone, around the eyebrow, back around underneath the eye. Very light taps there. Bring the fingertips tapping down to the cheek, finally settling at the jaw, going back and forth a little bit before you finally land around the chin. Now take the tapping fingers and find your collarbones on each side and just give a little tap. Again, just back and forth, up and down the length of the collarbone on the right and on the left. Place the hands back down on the floor. Slowly start to flutter the eyes open. Find your way into a seated position very slowly. I kind of like to tuck the chin to the chest, really round out my back. As I unbind the legs, take off the blanket that's on you. It's going to be a really smooth transition tonight. But let's first tap into our digestive system, a little cleansing happening there. You just want to come up into your easy seat, that's fine. We're going to take the left palm and make a fist. We're going to take that left fist and we're just going to travel down from the left lower rib to the left hip. And we're just going to exhale as we press down. Go as light or as deep as you'd like. We're just giving ourselves a little descending colon massage, just clearing out anything that may be there. You might notice some tenderness. If it feels right and you want to just stay there for a minute, give a little massage and then move down. It's kind of trailing the knuckles. The inhale will start at the top and then again on the exhale, pressing it down. I like to close my eyes here. It makes me really focus in deep, not too distracted by what's happening around me. It also allows me to find the little nooks and crannies and crevices on that left descending colon that maybe just needs a little more time. When you get to your next stroke down, we're going to take the right palm open-handed and we're going to start at the lower right hip. And on the inhale, we're going to draw that palm again as delicate or as deep as you'd like up towards the right rib cage. At the middle of the breath, so after the inhale, we're just going to glide that right hand over towards the left rib. And that left fist can go back into action, stroking down. In between the exhale and the inhale, allow that right hand to come from the lower left rib, the lower left hip. I think there's only one hip, it is low, sorry. We're gonna come across to the right hip. Again, as deep as you like. If you're on your cycle, you might want to take a little bit more time there. Take a few breaths. And then when you're ready, run that palm on the next inhale up towards the right rib cage. Now you can work that way with the palm of the right hand and the fist of the left, or you can start to work both of your palms. I kind of like that. It kind of, to me, feels more balanced to take both of the palms and come up the right side. Take that space in between the breath, give a little loving caress over towards the next side, and then on the exhale, press both palms. So we're just going to go with your breath here. I recommend super slow. The digestive system does not move very quickly. So if you just want to pace it really nicely, maybe you'll get about 4 rounds of breath here. And that's what it's all about in the spring, right? We like to take a little physical cleanse. Sometimes we cleanse the spaces that we're in. We become a little bit more minimalistic in how many layers of clothes we wear, depending on what we have to eat. Sometimes we can lighten that appetite a little bit and lighten the portions and lighten the heaviness of the food. Start to eat a little bit more fresh vegetables and fruits. And even our physical spaces that we're in, maybe we do a little spring cleaning or cleansing, starting to just disrupt the clutter. Once you've tracked down that left side for the last time, we're going to just stop there. Place the hands on the knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel that ethereal growth at the back of the crown towards the ceiling. Tapping into your Pisces season. And on the exhale, maybe a little press of the palms into the knees, feeling the connectivity, if not the knee to the floor, at least that grounding sensation it provides. Notice the connection of the back side thighs to the floor. The connection of the lower legs to each other and their support. And then finally, maybe on the next couple of exhales, tap into the sits bones and the tailbone, finding that connectivity that travels across almost the bottom of the triangular shape you're in. You're going to slowly start to open your eyes if they're not open already. Maybe take a nice stretch, hands reach up above the head, draw the shoulders back, inhale, maybe the gaze goes up towards the fingers. On the exhale, turn the palms out and give a little sun breath. Imagine that you're in this protective sphere and the fingertips can graze the inner shell. On the inhale, scoop the palms up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze goes up there. And on the exhale, take the fingers down. Maybe the gaze is out in front. Let's keep going with that. And something is happening. When you're ready, we're all going to meet with our hands back down on our knees. And we're just going to turn and make sure that our block support is still pretty sturdy. We're going to get that right knee preferably up to the edge of the bolster. So we're just kind of lining up that right knee, thigh, and hip. And we're going to come to stack the knees and just lay sideways across the bolster. Again, you can keep that little roll at the neck if you like that sensation. The arms can maybe plant down on either side of the floor. You can start to stack up any additional blankets. I like to take a roll, place it between the knees. You can even use your eye pillows underneath the elbows. Just stack your beans. And just settle in here on the side for a moment, maybe about 6 to 8 breaths. Can I assist you with a little between your knees as you have? Yes. Get you a skin. Start to allow the breath to circulate one more time up that right side, the side that's compressed and fully supported on your bolster. Take that moment at the top as the breath drifts over from right rib cage to left. And allow the exhale to just move down that open left side. Enjoy the space in between at the lower belly. Maybe there's a little deep crease in your fetal position right there, supporting your thighs, supporting your belly. As you take the inhale, travel up one more time up the right side of the waist. Come across. Exhale down, left side of the waist. Two more breaths like that. Invitation to stay here on your right cheek, or you can slowly press the palms into the mat on either side of the bolster. Lift the heart space up, turn it on to the bolster, and maybe plant the left cheek. Really gazing over that right shoulder, and just deepening that twist. For me, it's a little sensational with the roll there, so I'm going to move that. Just place that roll a little bit higher so that I can actually lay my temple on the left side right there. Notice if the elbows are dangling a little and you want to cushion it with an eye pillow or two. Slowly start to press the palms into the floor on either side of the bolster to start to lift the heart space. Gently come up. Again, I encourage the chin to drop to the chest and just round out that back. As you slowly turn your back towards the bolster, feet extend out in front. Just going to come into a little neutralizing position in Dandasana staff pose. Feel free to engage the toes, draw them towards the knees, or just let them splay out. We're going to take the hands on fingertips slightly behind the hips. Pressing in, draw the back of the crown, that ethereal space, up into the ceiling. The ceilings above, the sky, the ether. On your exhales, feel the grounding support of each of the fingers touching the blanket and the mat below. Feel the support of the heels, the calves, the thighs, the back of the thighs, the glutes, tailbone drawing down for that grounding support, that earthly nurturing support. When you're ready, we're going to transition now to the other side. So the left hip is going to come against the bottom of that bolster. You're going to start to allow yourself to just lay on the side, support your arms, support your hands on either side of the bolster. Feel free to bring that blanket with you between the knees. Just allow that left cheek to plant down, perhaps on a little roll. Situate your eye pillows. And just start to take that breath, that circular breath, one more time. We're going to start with the exhalation, feeling the pressure on that left waist. Come across the lower belly at the space in the breath. Allow yourself to feel supported in your thigh against that lower belly. And take 4 more rounds of breath like this. And when you finish those 4 rounds, you can press up, adjust yourself, and turn the right cheek onto the side of the bolster if that's calling to you to go for a deeper twist. Otherwise, enjoy. Again, feel free to just nestle in, snuggle in, adjust whatever needs to be adjusted so that you feel you're most comfortable and supported. Slowly start to press into the hands and allow yourself to rise, rounded back, chin to chest. We're going to come back out the way we came in, with our back facing the bolster, feet straight ahead. The neutralizing posture here, we're just going to take for about maybe 6 breaths, but I also like to take every posture mindfully, every setup slowly. So if you can put a blanket at the bottom of your legs, just to kind of allow yourself to feel that stabilization, that grounding sensation. I like to fold mine a couple of times. It makes it a little bit weightier. You have that roll possibly at the back of the bolster. We're going to remove it and possibly draw it down to just above that sacral area. So just above that flat space. We don't want to push that roll into the flat space of the back. We want it a little bit higher, almost right at where your belly button would be, or the top of your belly button, your high waist. For me, I'm a little bit high. If that's too sensational for you, no problem. This is a back bend. And we're just really opening up that back part of the waist. And just kind of allow the arms to extend. We're going to stretch those elbows out. We're not going to bend in. We're going to straighten them. Palms may be in this situation or on the floor. Find a little bit of neutralizing of the spine. So a little back bend, a little opening up of that twisted spine. Take a deep breath in through the belly button space. Let that breath circulate all around, from lower rib cage to pelvis. Exhale, imagining a beautiful glowing golden blue light emanating from your core, from your solar plexus. And on the next 2 or 3 breaths, circulate that breath from side waist to side waist, back body to front body. And maybe on the exhale, just allow those shoulders to open up a little bit more. Allow the toes to be relaxed, maybe splay out towards the sides or towards each other. It's a little bit harder to draw the chin to the chest here. So just allow that natural opening of the throat. Notice if the breath is smooth coming in through the nostril or agitated. Again, this isn't a static practice. So if you need to switch your positions or move something around just to smooth that breath out a little bit, go for it. 2 more breaths. Slowly start to bring the hands closer to the hips so that you can press up using them as leverage to rise. And we're going to completely spin around. Legs are going to come to either side of this elevated bolster. You can shimmy yourself up as comfortable as you like. I like to bend my knees, kind of tuck my feet in. You might choose to leave the legs spread out, knees straight, toes up. I'm going to just play with that little rolled blanket or towel one more time. And I'm going to really press it into my lower belly so that when I fold over, there's definitely a sensation there, but we don't want it to be too sensational, right? This is restorative. So we want it to kind of feel like a comfy little warm pillow. The head is going to find the bolster. If it does not, you have these fabulous 3, 4, I think I've put about 20 eye pillows next to each one of you as I was walking around. But feel free to put another blanket, or if you're at home and you want to do like a tapered like bed pillow right there to rest the third eye or the hairline on. Fabulous. Just settle into the breath in your forward fold. And I'm going to come around and see if you would like a cape. Is that a yes? Mhm. Great, great, great. Can I tuck you in, Miss Blaze? Can I offer you a cape and a tuck in? How about you, darling Anna Lucia? Would you like a cape and a tuck in? Great. Nice job with your making your pose for your practice. Good job. Allow the breath to come in through that lower spine. Let it work its way around the sacrum. If you feel any pulling sensation, maybe come out of the fold a little and then settle back in. Sometimes tucking that blanket that I put around you, around the knees or the calves, helps a little bit. Maybe allow the hands to come in contact with the legs, whether it's the knees or the shins or the feet. Just give yourself a little grounding massage, a little squeeze of the toes, the balls of the feet, or maybe the arches and heels. Warming up the knees, perhaps with the palms of the hands. And then just settling in, drifting there for about 6 more breaths. Slowly start to draw the chin deeper towards the chest, round the back, and slowly start to rise up. We're going to transition to just laying those legs on top of the rise of the bolster in front of you. So however you get there, you get there. Maybe supporting yourself with the palms next to the hips. Take a little wiggle, a little movement before we slowly start to recline into an elevated leg shavasana. If you had that rolled pillow for your head or you have an extra one, you might want to place that right on your belly. You also might like a folded, heavy weighted blanket right at the feet. You may need another one behind the head as you recline, and you might need another one on top. So let's just get crazy. I'm going to come around. Make sure you have a roll for your belly, a weighty blanket for the bottom. So that would be like your shins, and then one under your head, and one for your covering. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. You're welcome. You good, Blaze? Let me get you something for your belly. Right about there, that's good. Awesome. You can put your hand weights palms up, and you can also put one, keep calling them hand weights now, eye pillows as well. Okay. Just a little bit of a roll here on the belly. Yeah, you bet. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, what we got here? Let me get you a little. I feel okay. Get you one for your belly. You cold? Would you like another blanket on top? And Lucy, are you cold? Want another blanket? Are you good? Okay, wonderful. So let's just start to settle into our legs up, Shavasana. Feeling fully supported, grounded. Legs are heavy. Toes are ethereal and light. Hips and sits bones feel grounded. And that space in between the hip bones, that pelvic area feels watery and liquidy and fluid. Take a deep breath in, filling up that heart space with that golden blue light. And on the exhale, maybe draw the belly towards the spine and just let that light surge throughout your whole body. Arms feel weighty and supported, fingertips feel light. Wiggle out the jaw, wiggle out the nose. Feel the face melt back and down. Take one more breath in between that space between the eyebrows. Let that beautiful golden blue light swim around the inner brain, sinuses, inner ear. And on the exhale, just let it all spill out of the top of the head, cleansing, clearing the mind as much as we cleanse and clear the body and our spaces. And enjoy the next couple of moments in your Shavasana. Slowly start to come back into the sounds of your inner personal space, tapping back into the sound and the sensation of your own breath, filling up that space. Come into the sounds of the room and the room outside and the area in the community outside of the building. I'm just tapping into all those little sounds. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wiggling out the fingers and the toes. Maybe extending the arms up overhead for a nice full body stretch. Take a deep breath in through the nose, a long, luxurious exhale out of the mouth. Make it noisy. Whenever you are ready, cast off all the burdens of all of the things and roll onto one side or the other. Just for a full breath in fetal position. If you want to drag that bolster that you have up there between the legs, that's always nice, between the knees. Support the head, support the upper body. Yeah. And after a couple of your breaths, you rise whenever you see fit. I'll be here waiting for you in Sukhasana easy pose. I've actually chosen to sit on the bolster, just allowing the knees to drop down a little bit, feeling that opening in the hip flexors, giving a lot of room and space for movement of the digestive system, of that Svadhisthana chakra, the fluidity, that water element below in the pelvis. I'm feeling super stable as I press the tops of my toes down into the mat, my knees, feeling that grounding support of Mother Earth, bringing hands to heart wherever you'd like, or keeping your grounded feeling of fingers closed together, palms pressed at the legs. Chin draws towards the chest, thanking yourself so much for coming to your practice. Thanking each other for joining in community, both here in the studio and virtually. I thank you so much for letting me guide your practice tonight. Thanking all of the wonderful teachers here at Breathing Room and all of their teachers before them and all of their teachers before them for bringing this beautiful gift of yoga to all of us. Have a great rest of your Monday night. Enjoy the full moon on Friday. Come to the studio and celebrate with Kristen. Or if you can't make that, try to come for the spring cleanse on Saturday with Margot and Lauren. Otherwise, I'll see you back here on next Monday. We're changing it to 6:45. And Sundays, as always, gentle flow at 6. And I'm the guest teacher at 12:30 on Mondays for Haley. So if you want to have a little bit more movement with me, please come. Thank you so much for joining. Bye, darling. Have a good night.